What's up YouTube, Jason here with Byte My Bits, and in today's video I am checking out the Anni 4-channel 1080p CCTV DVR security camera system. That was a long title. So to start this video off, this is not a normal system because it doesn't use like IP connectivity as far as like maybe an Ethernet or Wi-Fi connection. It uses the old style, like, coax style cables and regular power supplies. So it's kind of the older style, and honestly, I don't think I would have checked it out if it wasn't for some of the unique features that this system brings to the table. So for starters, of course, you're going to get the DVR system. It's just a generic DVR. This one came with a 1 terabyte hard drive, but I have seen some places online that say that it doesn't come with a 1 terabyte hard drive. So I'm not entirely sure if it's just because it was a review model or if they actually do all come with a 1 terabyte hard drive. Either way, that's what's in this one. Now on the back for this one, you do have 4 connections for different cameras, audio sources. You have an HDMI and a VGA out and an audio out, 2 USB ports, an Ethernet port, and a power port. Now this is definitely going to be a system that you're probably going to have hooked up to a monitor. So of course you'll need a monitor that can either support VGA or an HDMI connection, which most of them should. And the DVR itself isn't really anything interesting. In fact, one of the limitations that I found with this DVR system is that it doesn't allow you to rebroadcast the channel streams. For example, I have a more expensive dedicated DVR at work, has a lot more features to it, a lot more connections and ports and stuff like that. But that DVR allows me to rebroadcast streams to another system. Like for example, my Blue Iris server here at home. And I bring this up because if you're somebody who has a camera system like at home and you want to be able to access it while you're in the office or vice versa, this one doesn't have any kind of rebroadcasting option to allow you to automatically have a stream be pushed to a different server or a different DVR system. It's not really that big of a deal, but in my particular use case scenario, I wanted to be able to tie this into Blue Iris, pulling the streams from the DVR and tying those cameras into the Blue Iris server, but I can't do it because the system won't allow me to. But that's more of a side note. That's not what the system is made for, just more of a side note. But to get to a more interesting part of this DVR system is it actually comes with 4 1080p cameras. Now these cameras are 2 megapixels. They're not necessarily great quality, but I'll give you some examples later. But they do have some unique features for each different camera. Taking the first camera as an example, it has a Siren built in. So if you have this somewhere, let's say you're in a small office and you have a front door where you want to be able to scare some, potential robber away, as soon as this thing gets set off, it'll start blaring some, alarm system sound. Although I will say it's only 90 decibel points, so I mean, it is loud and kind of annoying, but it's not like super loud. It's not going to pierce any eardrums or anything like that. But either way, it is still a siren, and it is something that could maybe help deter somebody, from stealing your stuff. Now, the next unique camera is this. This actually has a PIR, or a passive infrared sensor that detects body heat. So this one's kind of unique, and that's mainly because I think it has a very specific use case. Now this system actually has a built-in motion detection option. It has infrared lights built into every camera. So if you activate that, all of the cameras will sense motion and activate an alarm. But this one specifically detects body heat. So although I don't think this might be completely useful for everybody, I think that if you're somebody who maybe has certain objects in their area that might move, maybe it's a dusty environment, the dust particles can float through and trigger motion detection just because it's, that's the way motion detection works if you have it set too high. But with the body heat detection, it actually will tell you if it's a heat signature rather than just some random movement. So it is a little useful, but I don't know. Personally, I think it's kind of limited, mainly because the specs say it can go 5 to 8 meters or like 16 to 26 feet. But when I tested it, I came around the corner, walked down a hallway and was trying to set it off. Like I got like within, 5 or 6 feet from it before the actual body heat signature detection thing went off. So I'm not really sure if it is as sensitive as it claims, but that's what I found. And this next one is actually really interesting, and I haven't really tested it, but this one detects gas. And I haven't really tested it because I don't want to put myself in a position where I might poison myself, but basically, let's just say hypothetically, you were to take this one and put it in your garage. And then inside that garage, if for whatever reason you forget to turn off your car, I don't know why you would, but let's say you forget that your car is running, you close the garage door, this thing can sense the gas, the carbon monoxide in the garage, and will set off an alarm letting you know that gas has been detected, harmful gas has been detected. Or here's another example. Let's say you set this up in your kitchen and you want to be able to detect if there is a gas leak. Like let's say a pilot light goes out, natural gas starts flooding the kitchen. This could help let you know that there is a gas leak or there is gas somehow leaking into the kitchen and will, help you not blow yourself up. So that is really interesting, and that's actually, this is kind of like one of the reasons why I wanted to check the system out, because it has like unique ways that you can protect your home or different parts of your home using different methods. So I find that very interesting. However, the fourth camera, it's nothing fancy. All it does is just work as a standard camera with the standard motion detection built into the DVR. So you get a Siren, heat sensor, gas sensor, and then just a regular camera. Also with the system, they did send you a cheap little mouse and a little remote to help you operate the DVR without the mouse if you so choose. So that's kind of cool. I don't know, I haven't actually had a need for the remote because I use the mouse, but hey, to each their own. And while we're on the subject of accessories that comes with it, the box, the packaging comes with 4 cables, 60 foot in length that powers and transmits the video data to and from the DVR to your cameras. And I think you actually have to keep this in mind because if you want to buy this system as like an all-in-one system to install in your small office or your home or whatever you want to do, you have to keep in mind that you only have 60 feet per camera away from the DVR system. If you want to go longer, you're going to have to actually buy more cables or more power supply cables or whatever in order to extend that run. But if you can find a way to centralize your DVR and run your lines within 60 feet, then hey, not bad. Also, everything is powered by a single power supply that powers all 4 cameras with a 4-way splitter off of 1 wall wart. So there's a few things that I can say about this system. One, the camera quality, it's okay, but it's not great. I can give you some of this example footage, like one of me outside, some of me inside, some with the night vision on, and it's not fantastic. It is functional, however, and you can see what's going on. It can be useful, and I do like the alarms that come with it and everything, the way you can configure stuff. It's all like good in its own right, but this is one of the reasons why I went with IP cameras. Aside from the versatility of an IP camera system, you can have higher resolutions, 5, 8 megabits plus in a home security system, running off of like an Ethernet connection, assuming you have the DVR system and the wiring and all that stuff to handle it. Now, another thing here is that this is a DVR, so it does record all the time. It's not like motion activated recording, so it's always going to have recordings, so you can, scrub through a bunch of dead air if you wanted to. But when you're going through and you're looking at your recording and you're trying to play back video, it does have a little timeline bar that shows you different moments, alerts, things that went off. I think they turn red or green or stuff like that. That shows you when stuff was actually happening. So if you did want to go through and find something that was happening, you can look for the little red spots, you can click on them and you can see what exactly happened. Personally, I'm more in favor of systems like Blue Iris, for example, that only record clips when things are happening. However, using Blue Iris, I can tell you that sometimes stuff happens that the system just doesn't get activated. Whether it's your sensitivity and your motion or whatever it is, sometimes it just doesn't activate all the time. So having a system like this does have its pros and cons. As far as pro, it's always recording, so if you need to manually scrub through, you can. But con, if you want to find a specific event, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Also, this thing does have a free app that you can download, and yes, it does technically work. Yes, it is fairly easy to get set up, but no, it is not necessarily fast. Switching in between the channels to see your preview and see what's going on those cameras is just a little sluggish. And honestly, it could be a lot better. I'm not sure if it's sluggish because of the DVR system or if it's sluggish because of the app itself, but it does technically work. You need a little patience, that's all. Now, one of the good things here is that it is actually pretty easy to export the data off of the DVR system onto a USB drive. It's a very simple process. It took a little long to do because I did like 7 gigs worth of data at once, but it is definitely easy to do. However, if I wanted to put a side note here, the images come out like weirdly stretched, like they're too tall and then like squinched. I don't know, it's kind of weird. At the end of the day though, this is one of those systems that it's like an all-in-one packet. It comes with the DVR, mine came with the hard drive, it comes with 4 cameras and everything you need to hook it up. So like if you're one of those types of people that just want to get a good starter package and you don't mind wiring your cameras manually and you want a DVR, not like an NVR, then this might actually be an option. Pretty much I just label this entire thing as a starter kit, something to get you up and running, give you multiple forms of protection with a siren detecting gas, infrared, etc. It's an all-in-one package that comes easy to set up and ready to go. With the biggest flaw that I can see is that it doesn't offer any kind of audio recording options. If you guys would like to know more about the system, check out the Amazon links below to get up-to-date pricing and more detailed specifications on the package. Of course, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, post them down below. I'll be more than happy to try to help out if it's something that I can answer. And as always, thank you for watching, like and subscribe, and have yourself a good day.